Pioneer. Yo, what is going on guys? EJ here, bringing another Lord of the Rings Rise to the War video. Today guys, we're going to be doing a tier list. We're going to be revisiting the good side commanders, and we're going to be going through and ranking them now that we've had a full season and a half under our belt. We have a way better understanding now. I've seen a lot of people use these commanders as well as using a lot myself, and there's going to be a lot more changes to make a complete accurate list. Including we've also got Bard in there as well, who's a newest commander released, who wasn't released last time when I did the tier list. So you're just going to be using tier maker here. I've got it all made up and everything. We've got like God mode. We're going to have overpowered, good, okay, and Parther. So yeah, obviously God mode being the best, and then working it down. And we're going to be working from left to right. So say there's two commanders in the God mode section. The one closest to the left, or the color on the side there, will be the best commander. So we're going to be working through these. Also, as you can see, this is the first time using base cam in the video, so let me know if you like this new addition. And yeah, we're going to get straight into it. I'm not going to try to drag this out super long, try and make it a good length video. So I'll do a bit of brief information about the commander and stuff like that, and then we'll place them. So there, let's get into it, shall we? So we're going to go in order as we see here. So our first commander we're going to be starting with, guys, is Isildur. Now, Isildur is quite good. Now, I actually have him Xena 5, which I'm not even really using much at the moment, just because I'm versing some super strong whales and stuff. Now, he is really good at tanking damage, so if you don't have either of the Gandalfs, then I recommend he'll be very nice. He is extremely more useful if you're playing more of the side of Gondor. Then he'll be really good. Even so, like, he can do like follow up and stuff like that. But without getting too much into it, I would place him into the OP range. He's got really good defense and stuff, and is really good at defensive as well as attacking as well, with some follow up and stuff like that as well. And also as well as buffing attack of other formations. Okay, moving on next, we have Gandalf the White. I'm pretty sure all you guys know he is absolutely fantastic with White Council. The damage reduction is just unbelievable. Yeah, God mode, straight away, super simple, easy. Now, Gandalf the Grey is a lesser version of Gandalf the White, just because Gandalf the White can also buff your attack for the first 2 rounds by 25%, which is amazing. And that affects like everyone. So I think Gandalf the Grey is a very solid, good commander. Alright, next Dain. Don't know what else to say. Like, pretty much the best damage dealing commander in the entire game. Used in all the meta formations, simple, straight up the God mode, above Gandalf the White. Okay, Theoden. Theoden is okay, but is costly. You must be using all a full cav unit formation. In saying that, he is definitely better than okay. I would put him into the good section, because he's not as versatile as Gandalf the Grey, which can be used in multiple formations. Okay, next we have Borromir. I would place him in a good tier because he does have Warden, which does give him a 45% chance with the first 4 attacks, the first instances of damage. You can avoid that damage that is incoming, and you can have that for the entire 4 formations, which is really good. So I think I'm going to place him above Theoden, just because he's more versatile, and if he can use in multiple scenarios of formation, like mixed formations. Next we have Eowyn. She is also a good commander. She's very like versatile with the cav units and that, and should work very good unison with Theoden. Not as good as Theoden. Theoden can do definitely a bit more better damage and stuff like that, but she does have a bit of healing, so we'll place her into the good section below Theoden. Okay, next we have is Eomer. Now, Eomer is the best of the cav commanders, but he can also be used just as a solid damage commander. So in saying that, I'm going to place him up into the OP section below Isildur, but he can do some really good commander damage. I've seen him do like around 100,000 commander damage, and can work very good in a versatile mounted formation. Simple, absolutely OP. Like, I have plenty of facts and information to back this up, but we all know the pursuit is super OP. Not a lot of people kept the old gear, and I'm got him at respect level 4, and the difference of just having him in my formation at respect level 4 is night and day. And I'm going to put him up into God mode above Gandalf the White. Absolutely super strong. He can work. It doesn't have to be like all Elven Commander formation. You can have a mixed formation, which, for example, in God mode, I have these 3 in my formation, and all you have to do is run 3 Elven units in it, and yeah, it's just night and day results. Okay, next, King Aragorn. He is quite solid. He can do some really good commander damage. If you have his relic, it makes it really good and useful on him as well. Now, I think he's a very good commander in saying that, and I'm actually going to place him into the good section above Gandalf the Grey. Okay, Galadriel, one of the best healers in the entire game as well. She's going to be going up into God tier, but the sole reason she's like pretty much, I believe, the only commander pretty much on the good side that can inflict madness. So if you have her in your main meta formation, which most people are using, not only can you have the benefits of possibly doing madness and putting it on Dain and inflicting self-damage to him, you're also going to have the chance to be able to do healing. So I'm going to place her up into the God mode below these 3, but she is very solid. Alright, Radagast, I'm not going to say too much about him. His healing looks good on paper. It's not that good. I'm just going to place him into the OK section. Alright, next, Elrond. Elrond is fantastic. Of course, we know that he has like his conveyor skill, which basically you can do follow-up for the first 4 rounds for him and 1 other formation's units. Very strong, straight up into God mode. I think that in this order, I don't think he's as good as Galadriel or these other 4, but he's definitely God mode. Alright, next we have is King of the Dead. Now, I've actually burst a couple this season, wailed out, and yeah, just absolutely getting destroyed. I think he's okay. I'd put him in okay above Radagast in this section, and that's about as much as I'm going to say for him. Alright, next. Thorin is okay. He can do, like, we would say, like, mid-commander damage, but he works best in a formation of just dwarves. And he can then, that's when he can work really good. If you have him and Falgin, then you can have really good unison. I'm going to put him into the OK section, definitely above the first 2 that we have there. Okay, next we have is Treebeard. Honestly, I've mostly been seeing people using him as a pather. He does have the skills to be slightly useful, but I think he would be just in an OK section, and I'm just going to place him in the lowest tier of OK at the moment. Alright, Cirdan next is very good. He's going to be going up into the OP section. Of course, his R5 can do multiple things, like follow-up, for example. He has probably the best healing in the entire game, pretty much, besides 1 other commander that we're going to talk about who's going to be a big surprise later on. Yeah, I'm going to place him straight up into the OP section, and I'm going to put him even above Isildur. I think he's really good. Okay, the next commander who is quite surprising is Faramir. I've been actually using him a little bit in my second formation. He can do fantastic commander damage. I've been getting around 90 to 100,000 commander damage out of him, with some of the skills having rush ability and able to do pursuit as well. So I think he's a very good commander, and I'm going to place him up in between Gandalf the Grey and Borromir. So yeah, Faramir outdoing Borromir. So yeah, roles reversed for once. Good on you, Faramir, mate. Alright, Gimli is an excellent OP commander, one of the best damage dealers in the game. And of course, if you have his relic, you'll still be able to do pursuit if you can get 50 focus on that on him. So it's really good. I'm putting him straight up into the top section there of OP. He can easily do over 100,000 commander damage. Dwalin is pretty mediocre now. In saying that, I've put Thorin in the OK section. I'd put Dwalin a bit higher than him because he does have Durin's blood and can do like some decent damage and stuff like that. So I'm going to put him into the OK section about here. Balin, about the same books, but definitely Like, he can do a little bit of healing and stuff as well. But in saying that, I think I'm going to place him below Thorin in here, just in this section in the OK. Okay, Merry and Pippin is more of a supporter. He does have things like Warcry that can buff like the attack a lot. But he's just an OK commander, and I'd place him in between probably Treebeard and Radagast. Just because Radagast healing can come in handy. Alright, Falgin, like I was talking before, can be very good in a dwarven formation with healing and such. And yeah, easily out of all of those in the OK section, I'd put him above all of them right there. His relic can be super good. Alright, next we have is Elrohir. Can do quite decent damage as well, and he's pretty solid. He can do a lot of buffing to attack as well. He can have quite a really good a unit attack and stuff like that as well, and I've seen him doing quite well in an elven formation. And in saying that, I'd put him in the good section. I think he's more versatile than these guys. I would put him up even above Faramir, in between Gandalf the Grey and Faramir. Alright, Hirgon can actually be quite decent as well. I would put him up in the section in between like Borromir. He has the same kind of skills and can do some physical damage. I don't think he's as good as Borromir, but I'll place him just underneath. Alright, next we have Ori. I'd place him straight down into the OK section. He does have semi-decent skills, but in placing him, he would be lower than all the other dwarves, and I think he's a bit better than a couple of the other commanders here. And yeah, I think I'll place him in. I'd put him in as like all the dwarves are a lot better than all these guys pretty much. Alright, Legolas is good if you have quite decent good gear. I've seen him doing quite well. An easy selection, I'd probably place him up into the good section in between Faramir and Borromir. Alright, Aragorn tier 2 can do some good physical damage in that. Not as good as King Aragorn, not as good as Gandalf the Grey. I honestly would probably place him in between Faramir and Legolas into the good section here, like such. Alright, next guys we have is Haldir. He can do some good buffing to range tonight. You want to mostly use him in elven formations and buff. He's really good at buffing the defense and stuff and doing a little bit of damage. And I would probably place him, in saying that, in the good section, probably definitely below Legolas. And I'd probably put him in between Borromir and Hirgon. Alright, Denathor is no longer a path. He can actually be decent. He can do a bit of healing and stuff like that. And I would actually probably place him up in this section between Radagast and Merry and Pippin. The same with Imrahil. Imrahil's definitely gotten a lot better. I would actually probably place Imrahil a lot higher up, and I'd probably put him up probably even higher than Ori, to be honest. He can be quite useful and very nice, especially in a mounted formation. I'm going to place him in the 5th section of the OK here. Alright, next is Beorn. Absolute god mode, without a doubt. Can do significant, amazing damage. I'm getting his damage matching my Dain's in the battles, getting like around 120, 125,000 damage. I think he is absolute god mode, and might be a little bit of favoritism here, but I'm going to put him up into the 2nd position of god mode. And anyone that has him can pretty much back me up there. He's absolutely fantastic. Alright, we have Elladan next. I don't think he's alright. He's definitely not as good as his brother. I think it would be an easy slot to probably put him down. I'm going to put him just a bit higher than Borromir, because I think he's a lot better if he's working with elven units and stuff like that, and can work in a mixed formation. And Borromir is more of a support commander, so we're going to place him there in the good section. Alright, here's the surprise, guys. Thranduil. Where do you think I'm going to place him? It's going to be very high. He's going up into the god mode. He is absolutely amazing now. His skills have been adjusted. He now heals every single round and stuff, and when doing damage and that. let's just say his healing is out of this world. He can do amazing when defending, like the defense buffs that he can give elven units is crazy, as well as physical damage. Enough said. I'm going to place him into the god mode, and he is actually going to be going right up there. I think he's better than Elrond. Gala's super good. So, like, a lot of these commanders here are really good. In saying that, I'm probably going to place him up in between Gala and Elrond, but he has made the god mode, and yeah, that might be a big surprise to a lot of you. Alright, next we have is Frodo and Sam. Now, Frodo and Sam is basically useless unless you want to use them as a damage reduction, and so the only way I can really see them working is if you can use them in unison with White Council. So if you're using them with one of your Gandalfs, that can be very useful. But if you build them, so you're going to be doing huge damage reduction to them and using like Swan Knights or something like that, or if you're an NRP and using tier 3 trolls and like converting it so that directing the damage to them, they can be okay. They're definitely not a Parther anymore. I don't know if anyone's... Arwen might get Parther, to be honest. So they are okay in saying that, but I don't think they're as good as any of the other commanders there. So actually no, I think probably better than Treebeard and Merry and Pippin. I'm going to place them there in the okay section because they can be quite a solid tank, but they do need to have a lot of investment into them. Alright, who we got next? Celeborn. We're going to place them into the good section. They can be quite okay, but they're hardly being used anymore. I would if I placed Elladan here, I think better than Elladan, so I'm going to place up there into the good section. Oh, it's made a second row on good. Interesting. Alright, Arwen. So nerfed now. Like, I haven't put anyone in Parther, and if I haven't, so I'm probably just going to throw on Parther. She could go on the okay section, technically, but I'm just going to put her in Parther for the sake of it. Like, no one's been using her. Like, yeah, she's just being destroyed. Alright, next we have is Bard. In saying that, like, fantastic commander. Does really good, like, physical damage and with the bleed effect. And in looking at my tier list, I'm probably going to have to put him up in God mode, to be honest. Like, or I could probably put him in the absolute top of OP, but I think he's just as good as Elrond and that. And in saying that, like, he's a physical damage commander. I'm just gonna have to put him up into the God mode like such. He probably could move up a couple of ranks, depending on what kind of formation you want to use. Like, he's quite good. He can do some, like, I've seen him do 100,000 physical damage. He could easily be up here, like in between Gala and Thranduil, but it's more on your preference. I'm just going to put him up into the God mode, but yeah, take that with a grain of salt, guys. But yeah, and that's our updated tier list for the good side. I think this is quite a very nice, accurate list. And yeah, I hope this video might help you guys out building some formations and stuff like that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, the face cam and that. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smack that like button. It'll be very much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new. I try to do as much information and videos and that for Lord of the Rings Rise of the Wall. So yeah, until next time, guys, peace out, EJ's out, and I'll catch you guys later. See yous.
Thousands songs of the EJU.